guys, it's Melissa from 3milelaneco. Today we are doing a tutorial. I'm so excited, and I'm going to be sharing with you how I make my Cricut sticker sheets. You may have heard the term Cricut stickers before, and that's what people are talking about when they refer to a sticker sheet. They call it Cricut because the blade kisses the top of the sticker paper and it doesn't cut all the way through the back. That way people can just peel off a single sticker from the sticker sheet, and it's really easy to get off, and they're very popular. They are used for bullet journaling. These specifically were designed to put onto packages for Christmas. There are so many different uses for sticker sheets. They're also really fun to make and a lot easier than you would think. So today I'm gonna share with you how I make my sticker sheets, and if you have any questions, make sure you leave them on the video. I'd be happy to answer them in a future Q&A. Enough of the intro, let's get to sticker sheet making. Today I'm going to show you how to use Cricut Design Space to make Cricut stickers. I'm using the Cricut Design Space app on my MacBook. So the first thing to do is create a new project, and then you want to upload your files. If your files are not already in Cricut Design Space, click the upload image, locate your files, and import them. You have to do this one at a time. My files are already in here, so I can click View All to search through my images. We're going to make the tags sticker sheet. So I have imported my tags on their own with no background as a PNG file. And I have also uploaded my background. It's a white background with a header at the top. So that is a separate PNG file. I'm going to select both of those and insert the images. Once I have them in here, I'm going to resize them. I cut these at 4x6, so I'm going to start by resizing the background first. For the width, I'm going to change it to 4, and I want to make sure that the dimensions are locked so that it keeps the proportion. When I hit the return key or the enter key, it will resize to 4x6. Now I want to duplicate this 4 more times, so I have a total of 5 backgrounds. Once I have all those, I'm holding down the shift key, and on the right hand side in my layers window here, I'm going to select all of these layers, and then you want to center align, and then you want to attach. Do not weld and do not flatten. The reason you don't want to weld is when you weld it, it becomes one weld result and it does not show your image. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo that. And you also want to make sure that you do not click flatten because it makes one layer, and that defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do. So hit Command Z again to undo that. And the purpose of getting 5 of these layers and attaching it is so that the Cricut recognizes that there are 5 individual layers, and it's going to cut this out 5 times. And that's important, and I'll tell you why in just a second. So I'm going to get this into position where I want it on my page when I print it. I like to rotate mine 270 degrees, which will let the top image here go to the left, and I just like that orientation best when I'm printing it out. Now I'm going to drag and drop it all the way up in the corner, and it's going to snap to position right at axis 0, 0. And you can see the axis by clicking more, and this is the position, and it recognizes the position as the upper left corner of your image. So now we can do something similar to our actual design. I'm going to bring this to the front first, and there's 2 ways I can do that. I can right click and I can move it to the front, send to the front, or move it forward, or I can come over here and I can click and drag it up and drag it all the way to the top. So there's 2 different ways. Right clicking just is a little quicker. I want to resize this as well, but I don't want to make this 4x6. That would be a little too large. So I actually want to make it a little smaller. I'm going to start with a larger number and then work my way down if I need to. So I can just start it at 4. It's smaller because when I designed it on Procreate, it wasn't exactly 4x6 because the background's 4x6, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do is rotate it the same way, and then I'm going to resize it further from there. I'm going to drag it on top of my image, and you can see that it's a little too large. Here it goes over the titles, so I don't want to do that. So I want to line it up where I ultimately want it to be on the top and to the left. So that looks about good right there, maybe up just a little bit there. Now I'm going to use the resize on the image, and I'm just going to drag it until I have it in a size that I like. I don't want it too close to the edges, and I want the same amount of space around all 4 sides. Give or take, it doesn't have to be exact. So I'm just gonna make it a little smaller even, and it looks about good. Now, if you want to make sure that it's perfectly centered on your sticker sheet, you can click and drag over both images. That highlights everything. And then you can go to Align and Center Vertically. And you can see that it moved just a little bit. So let me see if it still looks good. And it does. I like that placement. So now that I have the placement, I'm going to click and drag over both images again and attach. Again, don't weld, don't flatten, use attach. Now that I have that done, while it's still selected, I'm going to Command C to copy and Command V to paste, or Control C and Control V if you're on a PC. I'm going to drag this down into position. On the Cricut, you can work with a space that measures 6 3/4 by 9 1/4. And that is the maximum size that you can print a full page using the Cricut Design Space software. I like to drag this all the way down to the 9 1/4 so that I can use the space in the middle for sticker miniatures. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on Upload and bring in a couple of images that I want to make tiny. So I think we'll go with the You Got This rainbow, and then I'm just going to do 1 inch on the width. And they're so tiny and so cute, and they fit perfectly in between. So I'm just going to put one there. I'm going to duplicate that a few times. I'm going to drag this one all the way out to the 6 3/4 because that's how wide we can go. And then I'm going to fill in the middle. And a trick that I like to use if you're having a hard time seeing your sticker outline against the white background, you can insert a square. And I do this with my standard sheets a lot when I'm trying to arrange to get the most use out of my paper. You can unlock the proportion, do the width at 6.75 and the height at 9.25, hit return, send that to the back by right clicking and send to back, and then drag it all the way up and snap it into position. Now you can see behind you how much space you have left. So I'm going to duplicate that a couple more times. And the placement doesn't really matter if they're kind of wonky right here, because I'm going to show you a trick. You're going to click on one, hold down Shift, and then click on all the rest to select them all. And then you're going to go to Align. You're going to center vertically so they're all nice and even. But then my favorite feature is down here. It's distribute horizontally. That will make it so that it has the same amount of space in between each one. Is this really necessary? Probably not, but I really enjoy doing it this way because I think that the Cricut cuts it out a little better. The Cricut likes to cut in straight lines, and if this is more uniform, it will have an easier time cutting it out. I feel, in my opinion. Have I proven that? Not really, but I have heard a couple of other people say similar things, so I like to do that anyway. And while I have them all highlighted, I'm just going to attach them because I like to have them attached for some reason. It's just my OCD likes it better. So now that I have my 2 sticker sheets and my minis on here, I want to hide the background, so I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom until I find my square, and I'm going to click on the eye, which will hide it. Now you need to attach everything so that when you go to print your page, it prints correctly. I'm going to hit Command A, which is like select all. You can also do Control A if you're on a PC. And that selects everything. Again, you want to attach, do not use anything but attach. And once you have that done, you can go to Make It and it will show on your Cricut mat as a full page. And what's going to happen when the Cricut cuts it out, it will cut your background layer 5 times, but it will only cut your sticker layer 1 time. So to get a Kiss Cut sticker sheet, depending on what your settings are, and we'll go over the settings in just a moment, it will just Kiss Cut your stickers on the top, and it will cut your background out completely from the sticker paper so that you have a nice sticker sheet. Now that we have this done, we can hit continue. I'm going to send this to my printer so that I can print it. I have my printer selected. I'm going to do 1 copy. I always turn off the add bleed unless I have an image that has colorful background. And then I'm going to turn on the system dialog. I find that I get a better printed image when I use the system dialog rather than letting it print directly through Cricut. I'm going to hit print, and then it will bring up my system dialog behind the Cricut Design Space window. And once that pops up, I can make sure that my settings are correct and I can print. I've loaded my sticker paper into my printer. I have my presets as color fine, my paper type as auto, and my quality set to best, and I'm ready to print. So the setting I use for my Kiss Cut stickers, I call it Sticky Note. It's one of the materials that was already listed in Design Space. However, I have tweaked it a little bit. Let me show you the settings. If you click on Browse All Materials and click on Material Settings, you can go through the entire list of custom materials. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it's in alphabetical order. So here's the Sticky Note setting. It's cut at 157 pressure, 1 time, with a fine point blade. When I edit this, I can change the pressure, and sometimes I modify it a little bit depending on how it's functioning on my machine. Everybody's machine is going to be a little different if you're using different materials, or if you have a different kind of mat, or if it's hot or cold. There are a lot of variables that you wouldn't really think about that can affect how your Cricut is actually functioning and cutting out your material. So this is a setting that I find works for me. Cut pressure 157 for the Online Labels plain matte sticker paper. So I'm going to select Sticky Note. My blade is kind of in the mid-range of its life cycle, so I'm going to leave my pressure on default. And now my machine should be flashing. I can go ahead and load my project. So here is how the sticker sheet prints out, just like a normal sticker sheet. I'm going to get this onto the Cricut mat and put it into the Cricut to get cut. Now that I have my sticker sheet on the mat, I can go ahead and load that into the machine, hit the load button, and now I can hit the cut button. Once it's done cutting, we can unload it and check it out. Okay, now that these are cut out, we can take off the outside. And you can see that our machine did not cut all the way through these, which is what I prefer because I use these on my packaging just as a little fun, cute extra on the envelope. So they did Kiss Cut out, so I just take scissors and trim them off of here. That way I can go ahead and throw them on my packaging, and it's really easy to grab them off. Now to get your sticker sheets off of the mat, I like to turn it upside down and very carefully just peel the edge away, hold them down while I peel the mat away from the paper. And this is kind of a good example. My mat is getting very crummy, and I call that crummy because it just looks like little paper crumbs. There's a lot of debris on here. So if I were to use a fresh mat, or if I were to clean this one off, then I would not have these rough edges like I have here. So that's a very important thing to note. Make sure that when you are cutting, you're using a very clean mat that is not going to hurt your edges. That can also be from the blade. If the blade is not sharp enough, or if it's too dull, or it could have debris stuck to it. So there are a number of factors that you want to look out for before you cut your project to make sure that you're getting a really nice, high quality item. So now I always do a test. I just peel back a little bit of a sticker just to make sure that it cut out well. And sometimes on my machine, the lower sticker sheet is the one that has most of the problems at the bottom. So I'm gonna check that as well, and we're good to go. Thank you so much for joining my video today. I hope that tutorial was helpful for you. If it was, please give the video a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. I really enjoyed making these sticker sheets with you, and I hope that you learned something. If you did, please let me know in the comments what your favorite part of this video was. If you learned something new that you didn't know before about your Cricut or making stickers, I would also really love to hear that from you and share our experiences. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Yeah, my really expensive light almost fell over. Oh my gosh. Okay. The bloopers you didn't know you wanted to see today. But here they are. Okay, stop. No, just be professional. Be professional. Be professional. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Hey guys, it's Melissa here. I don't know what to say. That's not how I want to, that's not the right words. Smile for the thumbnail. Okay, that's probably good.